So to all you Errol Spence fans who said my video didn't age well, I told you that Ugas will control Errol Spence with his jab and come over the top and counter like he did Pacquiao and like he does everybody else. And he shoots his jab straight to his target. He doesn't telegraph it or nothing. And he has his signature looping shot that he loops around your guard like that. And he can make adjustments off that same shot. Right here, he double jabs Manny Pacquiao, pushes him back, and then throws his signature shot, and Pacquiao goes to block it. Now that he blocked it and Pacquiao's used to that look, he double jabs right here and then sends it straight down the middle. So he makes an adjustment off his signature punch. And right here, Errol Spence has got caught with that same looping shot that I told you he was vulnerable for. So while I may have been wrong about the outcome, a lot of things that I said would happen during the fight happened. I'm not a hater. Errol Spence looked really impressive in this fight, and you know, every fighter said they rededicate their life. He actually rededicated his life, and he started watching film. The first thing that I noticed during the fight was this: Errol Spence doing this. Check this out.
I'm all the time I'm watching, Terry Norris or Ray Leonard or Floyd or, Chad Dawson, something like that. I'm watching it now. So it got back to the point where, I'm back studying boxing. I'm back, making it implemented.
So the first thing I noticed before the fight was Errol Spence hitting himself like Marvin Hagler before the fight started. See, there he goes right there. So he has rededicated his life. He's studying film, and a lot of people saying he's back in the gym, but that's all speculation. Nobody actually really confirmed that, but that's very impressive. Now to break down the action, you notice where Ugas trainer's arm placement is, and he leaves that opening right there for Ugas to jab to the body. That was their game plan going in, and Ugas actually did very, very well the first round implementing that game plan, and the fight started off exactly how I thought it would. Look right here, Ugas jabbed him to the body. Then he's backing Spence up because Spence has ring rust, backing him up with subtle feints and jabbing him and pushing him back. Spence pushing Spence back, and Spence is losing ground. That's how the first two rounds started, and the fight was unfolding exactly how I thought it would. I thought Errol Spence would get backed up. I thought he wouldn't be able to land his shots. You see right there, he came in with a double jab and then a straight left. Ugas has been doing his homework on Errol Spence, and it shows. It shows in the preparation, and it shows like right there, he did a double jab and Ugas pulls out of range. I mean, that's not by coincidence. It's because him and his trainer studied Errol Spence, and they seen that Errol Spence does the same combinations on the bag as he does in the fight. So Ugas and his team came in very, very well prepared, but so did Errol Spence. I'm going to get to that later. But look here, double jabs. Ugas ducks up under the straight left because they've been doing their homework, like I said. I knew the pace of the fight would go like that, and Ugas will control the pace. See the mid range right there? He's backing Errol Spence up, and Errol Spence can't get his timing or get his punches down. He even keeps throwing the double jab straight left, and Ugas has an answer for it every time. And the fight is going exactly as I expected. And Ugas is backing him up with feints and counters. The subtle things you might have missed, like right here, look, Ugas pulls back because he knows the left hand's coming off the jab and comes up and counters Errol Spence with a left hook to the body. And remember when I told you that he would control Errol Spence's jab and counter over, and y'all said he's not like Pacquiao. He's Errol Spence is taller than Pacquiao. The whole first two rounds, Errol Spence was getting his jab countered over the top of. Every time he shot the jab, Ugas was answering with the jab and controlled the pace. Whole first three rounds, Errol Spence was getting his jab countered, and he was getting countered a lot. And Ugas even catches him right there with the signature shot I told you about in the breakdown, where he loops the punch. He was he was he was controlling the pace of the fight. He was doing exactly what I thought, countering over the jab, controlling the pace of the fight, making Errol Spence uncomfortable, countering him with body shots like right there, counter his jab right here with his jab. He was doing exactly what I expected him to do in this fight. He was doing really, really good and controlling the fight. And then one punch changed everything. Errol Spence came inside and hit him with this one body shot in the third round, and that just changed the whole pace and everything of the fight. And Errol Spence surprised Ugas, and Ugas wasn't prepared for an inside attack, and Errol Spence just went down for hill from there. Errol Spence just started taking over the fight. Like right here, comes in, Ugas favoring that side. He doesn't want to get hit on that side, and he mixed it up with uppercuts like right there. Ugas still try to do what they prepare to do. Look, like right here, he catches the jab, and then he answers with an uppercut and then a left hook. He still try to do things like that. Look right here, he catches, and then he answers with an uppercut, and then tries to polish him off with a left hook. So while Ugas and his team had good preparation, Derek James and Errol Spence had better preparation. And he fought exactly how they prepared. Check this out. If you go back, see, you guys watch the 24/7, y'all don't pay attention to the details. Look where Errol Spence's arm is, look where his hand is. He's controlling them. He planned for this to be a physical fight. He wasn't going to go in there and try to outbox him, which was really his only way for him to win in my keys to victory that I did on another channel. But look, he's stepping off on angles, stepping off. These are subtle things you got to notice in boxing. Stepping off, throwing uppercuts, ripping off uppercuts, blocking shots, getting to the outside of the shoulder, pushing off with his shoulders. It's a little subtle things. Look, and then spinning around, and trying to walk Derek James in the punches. He did the exact same thing in the fight. Check this out right here. He throws the uppercut, pushes him back, and then throws another uppercut. Notice where the arm placement is. He's pinning Ugas' arm to where it's defenseless. Then he throws a right hook right there, and there's no answer back because he made him defenseless. And then he throws the hard body shots when Ugas falls in forward to try to stop the onslaught. And then Spence takes a step back and throws a hook to the body in that same vulnerable area that changed the whole pace of the fight. And then throws a short right hook. These are the subtle things you might have not noticed. Errol Spitz and Derek James came up with a great game plan, and Ugas didn't have an answer for it. Like right there, pushes Ugas back, and Ugas knows the uppercut's coming, so he kind of rides that one at the last second. But look, again, Errol Spence in the inside, steps off to the angle, uppercut, then turn it to a short left hook. These are the things. He went from long punches to short punches and short punches to long punches, taking steps back, doing exactly what they prepared for. He changed his combinations up for this fight. Like right here, he throws a left hook to the head, and then he gets off to the angle and throws a left uppercut, and then throws a right hook to the body. Like I said, combinations were genius by Errol. And the fact that him and Derek James knew that they would have to make it a rough fight for Ugas was genius also. But look, right here, Ugas bumps into Errol, but he's too strong for him to push him back. And look what Errol's hands are. Just like they was on Derek James, he controlled his hands in the inside. And Ugas would push off a lot because he didn't want to fight Errol on the inside, and I can't blame him. He was getting beat up. Look what Errol Spence's hands is right here. He's pinning his offense. Pinning his offense and stepping off on the angle. But look right here, they clashed heads, which I knew would happen with the Orthodox and the Southpaw. That had a lot to do with Ugas wearing down too and putting more pressure on that orbital bone. But like I said, Ugas had that signature punch right there that he lands on Errol. He shortens that punch up right there to try to get it past Errol. And then right here, he makes the adjustment and then loops it around so Errol can't adjust to his adjustment because that's his signature shot. But he knows that that's his only shot at winning is landing that big shot. So he smartly tries to land it in between the combination. Errol Spence lands a right hook to the body and tries to bring it up to the head. He ducks up under that and comes up with the shot that he needs to finish Spence, and Spence spits his mouthpiece out. And a lot of people were trying to debate me over this issue, but this has been a tactic of fighters for years, and they were saying, what, a championship fighter don't spit his mouthpiece out. Well, here's a video of a championship fighter spitting his mouthpiece out to try to gain more time. Check him out. This is Anthony Joshua spitting his mouthpiece out. You see the mouthpiece?
He's looking for more time. He's been down 4 times. Joshua turning to his corner. He's got to be careful here. He turned his back on me. I picked up his mouthpiece. I don't think in any sense he was quitting the fight. He just wanted those seconds, but the rules don't allow me to give him those seconds.
Now, fighters get their mouthpiece knocked out all the time, but notice that the mouthpiece normally flies out with the punch and goes with the momentum of the punch. If you hit that hard to actually spit out your mouthpiece, that's not what happened. And here's another fighter getting a break, gets hit with a hard body shot, uppercut, then the mouthpiece comes out. He's looking for breaks. This is not uncommon in the sport of boxing. Plus, it only happens when he hurt. It don't happen the whole fight, which gets rid of that excuse. Right there, Ugas hits him with 2 hard shots that should have knocked the mouthpiece out, but it didn't. But look here, look close. He comes up and hits Errol Spence with that, and Errol Spence spits off the mouthpiece, and it lands on Ugas' gloves and goes flying. The mouthpiece did not go with the punch. It did not go with the momentum of the punch. He spit that mouthpiece out. That's not up for debate. He does it when he's hurt. His punch resistance is not the same. It's just the fact of the matter. Let's look at it again. Ugas dips low, comes up, comes up, catches Spence, bam. Didn't even land a solid shot. The shot before this shot is what really shook him up. This shot didn't even land flush. And he spits it out on the way that Ugas punch is returning. And then he looks down at the mouthpiece. He spit that mouthpiece out. I mean, that's not even debatable. Film don't lie. Film tells the story. Now, a lot of people said this, that Ugas pushed off of him, that punch didn't actually hurt him. You know, they were sending me videos of different people and et cetera. They were saying it was pushed off. It's because they have untrained eyes in the sport. Notice when Ugas pushes off of Errol Spence, because he's so strong, he has to plant that front foot and drive. See, look, plants the front foot and drives to push Errol Spence back because Errol Spence is so strong. That was a punch. That was a push. There's a difference, and I'm going to show you the difference. His feet are not they're in a punching position, and the punch, you can see the rotation of the hips and everything. You don't see that with a push. Like right here, Errol Spence throws a hook and he catches him in between with the shot and rotates his hips. That's not a push. He has to drive to push Spence off. Let's look at it in a better view. See the rotation of the punch? It's right through Errol Spence's looping shot. See, look. Loops the punch, and he throws a short shot right there and catches Errol Spence on the chin and knocks him back. But ultimately, Errol Spence really, really impressed me in this fight. He answered all the questions I had about his eye. Who would have ever thought that Ugas would get stopped by his eye? Nobody. I don't give a damn what people are saying. Nobody would have thought that. But yeah, he impressed me. He impressed me offensively. He didn't get tired. He had a great game plan, fighting Ugas in the inside. Using angles. He looked every bit of what his fans say he was offensively. And it just makes me more excited about the fight with him versus Crawford. That just made me that made me change my mind about the outcome of the fight also, man. It made me more excited about the fight. But yeah, man, Errol Spence deserves all the credit in the world, man. You did a great job, and you're refocused, you're watching film, you're doing you're living up to the hype that the fans put up on you, man. You did great. You breaking bones. Derek James said that Ugas had a broken rib, but Ugas hasn't confirmed that. That was Derek James's. So as far as we know, you broke Ugas' orbital bone and made it a rough and rugged